I thank everybody for being here and just present here William. William here is our team partner from Mailchimp. And William, if you want to present a little bit of yourself and what Mailchimp does, that would be amazing.
Yeah. William Howard here with the Mailchimp partner development team. I helped have team and Natalia kind of just go over the partner program and kind of just help them build their business through Mailchimp. So hopefully I can do the same with you all today and just kind of help you, whatever goals you have. And that's kind of a little bit about what we have to offer with you today. So thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to get it started. And for today, we're actually talking about how do you build your brand and with consistency. And obviously, I use Mailchimp. I'm a Mailchimp partner. And I wanted to explain a little bit of what we do with Mailchimp and how we build our brand. This is very important for me because as freelancers, since we entered the next year, Mailchimp does have great tools that will help you in how to build your brand and how to build the consistency that you need without overworking yourself and having to do everything manually. So mostly this is a little bit of table of contents of what we're going to be talking about and what's the perspective that we have. And I will be sharing my system, how I use all of these tools and how to integrate Mailchimp into your day-to-day work tool. Let's get it started. Honestly, for me, the first thing is to understand why brand consistency matters. And as freelancers, we tell this to our customers all the time. We always mention that we need to build trust, credibility. We need to create a professional, cohesive brand image, reinforce our brand recall and recognition. But as freelancers, we need to take a look at our brand as a business as well. So sometimes we take this mentality of employee versus a brand owner or a company owner. And that's one of the main things that I always say to my freelancers, just think about your brand as a business. You are selling yourself. And even though you are the brand, your message has to be to your customers on what you can do for them. So think about your brand as a actual business and market yourself with those same tools. So this is what brand consistency matters. And I want you to take one thing from this whole workshop. The one thing that I really want you to take from here is that you are in control. You are your brand, you are the driver, and you are in power. I want you to take that with everything that I am going to mention here and all the tools that I use and the system that I use is actually for you to change your mind from being an employee to being a brand owner. So what brand consistency and the brand design and consistency means, I created this specific tool of system where you go from recognition to trust to the hiring process to the remembering and the rehiring, and all of these steps of the journey, for saying it like that, are very important for your brand and for your brand consistency. And Mailchimp can help with all of these steps. But let's go over the steps, and then we will go over what Mailchimp can do to help you with those. First part for me is recognition, right? Awareness, as we call it. You are your brand, as I mentioned before, but what can do your messaging is what you can do for them, for your customers. If you're a photographer, what your photography can bring. If you are a social media manager, what your social media content can bring and the strategy that you can bring in your content. So brand tone, of course, in this part of recognition, there is one thing that all of us get right. We get a brand tone, we get the beautiful visuals, we get a beautiful logo, we get our colors, with our tone of voice, how do we want our brand to look like. So we all kind of have seen for many years working with freelancers, we've seen that freelancers get this right because that's the exciting part, how everything is going to look and the beautifying of your brand and your logo and all those steps. What I do think that a lot of freelancers miss in this process of recognition is the experience across all touch points for your customers. Is using those tools that you created, using that beautiful logo, using that beautiful color palette that you created and took so long to create and decide on, to actually align with your client experience across all touch points. What does that mean? Means how your portfolio is consumed, how your emails are consumed, how your proposals look and show, how your social and your contracts look. All of those are important and are part of the recognition process. And lastly, your personality, as well as your personality, what the personality that you give to all of these touch points. It's super important for you to understand that, yes, while we create beautiful brand tone and a beautiful visual, we have to use those tools to communicate for that recognition and that trust to come in. And trust is the second aspect of this. The emotional impact of a clear personal brand on a client decision, it's super important. So recognition and trust always go hand to hand. Your recognition of your brand and the awareness of your brand, the second step will be to build credibility and build trust. It's not just about the design, it's about the reliability that you can have with a customer. It's about the reliability that you can give for your brand and it's consistent content, professional image, it's higher perceived value. And that makes you from having a great brand and great recognition to clients trusting to ask you about a proposal or inquiry about a proposal, and then getting actually a higher perceived value for your work. So if you want to charge more, if you want customers to pay what you deserve, you actually have to make them trust you. And by that, you have to have recognition and build that trust with your brand alignment and your brand tone and the touch points, the experience across all of those touch points. Clients are more likely to remember, recommend, and rehire once they trust you, once they know what you can give and know that you are going to be there. You're not a brand that it's going to disappear out of nowhere. So that's something that is very important to get to that step. Clients are not going to inquiry at the moment once they recognize you. There is a process before we were taught in school. When you learn marketing, we were taught that this was like a type of a funnel. I don't see it as a funnel. I see it more as a journey and a circle journey. If you close that circle, as I'm showing right here, if you close this circle, that's when you are going to get this retargeting, this recognition, this rehiring process that we want. We want customers to come back. You don't want to be chasing all the time new leads to get new projects. We want people to come back to your brand. So because of that reason, recognition and trust are those first and second steps that you really want to put yourself out there. You really want to use tools that you created, your beautiful logo, your beautiful brand tone, but also align all of that across all of your touch points, not only on how people see you on the first time, if not in the process of actually getting your proposal, getting your contracts, and starting to work with you. Now, the third part of this is actually being the hiring part. Once the customer recognizes that you can do the job, they trust you to ask for a job or to ask for a proposal. There is a process where they have an inquiry, right? They want to inquiry about your services. They want to get to know you, get to know if you are the right person for the job. I want you to think about this as you being a smooth operator. I'm not sure if everybody's here see F1. I love F1, so wanted to kind of like put it out there. But you have to be a smooth operator. You want to, again, you want your brand to be, you want to be the driver. And that's where all these comes together. You want to have detailed systems to take the customer from your inquiry, your proposal, your contract signature, and your onboarding. That's super important that in all of these touch points, we always are the driver, and we drive our customer through the process that we want them to pass through. So if you let the customer drive, there's going to be a lot of questions, a lot of back and forth, and you're not going to be perceived as the expert. And in that process, you lose trust. So it's super important that you have like this control of process where you take the customer through your process and your way of doing things, so they feel that they can be in the backseat, they can relax, they can just let you work, let you be, and trust your work. One of the things that I see in this part of the process is that freelancers always create a beautiful proposal, but then when you are closing a project, let's say that you won that client, everything went amazing, but when you close that project, you don't take care of the offboarding process. I see the onboarding process and the offboarding process with the same value. Why? Because the onboarding process and what the feeling that the customer stays after they close the project with you, it's super important. That's the feeling that they're gonna stay with, and that's when they're gonna actually remember you when the next time that they need a service that you provide. This means the deliverables. How do you provide the deliverables once a project is done? How do you create a close report? How do you email to gather feedback? All of these are things that you can automate. It sounds like a lot of work, but you can automate these things with Mailchimp or systems that we use for that purpose. In my case, I use Mailchimp for all of these things, and I have them automated at the moment for freelancers and for clients. The fourth and final step is the remembering aspect, the feeling of completion and feeling helped. You want your customer. Humans inherently think more about feelings than logic. Of course, we need to provide great results because they're going to stay with that, but they need to feel helped. They need to feel completed. They need to feel that your process allows them to hire you easily, sign a contract easily, get the project done, and feel completed at the end of it. And that's what we are going to talk about, how Mailchimp with automation wants and will help you to build all of these systems without you having to overwork yourself and do all of these steps manually. Now, that means that they can remember you with newsletters, social media content, obviously networking, and personally reaching out to the customers after a while. I do recommend always to talk to customers again after, let's say, 6 months that you haven't worked with that customer, 3 months. Say like, hey, how did it went? Did you use the service? Do you have any results? Is there anything that we could have done better? It's always good to get that feedback back, because one, you get back on top of mind for customers, and second, you actually get customers like thinking about you for rehiring. You care about your work. So you want to have like this circle closed and this process always in your mind when you are building your systems as a freelancer, because again, you are the driver, and if you drive the car and let them be in the second seat, in the back seat, they're going to feel more comfortable working with you. And you can also charge a little bit more because your systems are set up for you to be a little bit more of an experienced freelancer. Now, how Mailchimp can help with all of this is very simple. There is a lot of tools inside of Mailchimp that can help you build from your email templates through your like landing pages to having a brand template. I do have all of our templates already created, and yes, this takes a little bit of time when you are setting it up, but once you are set up, you decide how everything is going to look, you save your fonts, your color schemes, your logos, your imagery. Once the step is done, actually you get the process way easier and way faster, and you could just kind of like go back to that same template, fill up the information that you want to share, put the audience, and get it out of the door instead of having to build from scratch each time. So that's something that I really like about the branded email templates that we actually use with Mailchimp, just because I can have them there. If I want to do any changes, I go in, I save time with reusable branded templates, I customize. If they're easy customizable with the drag and drop, just to kind of like change them a little bit. If you don't want to use like exactly the same pictures, change some pictures, change some copy, and you get it done out of the way. The beginning, you're going to take a little bit of time, but after a while, you're going to see that you have a system in place that will allow you to send these templates and send these emails automatically very quickly. The other part of it, it's on-brand sign-up forms and landing pages. So for example, as I mentioned in the system, you have like sometimes you want the inquiry to be a form. You want people to, your inquiry process to be a form. You can do that with Mailchimp, and that can be automated into your audience system. So once you create the landing page, you create a form for inquiry of customers with all the questions that you have. Let's say that you are a graphic designer and you have a subscription for your services where people can order 8, 10, 5 designs per month for a subscription price. You can automate the whole process where you get the landing page, people will fill up their information, they will receive a confirmation email automatically, and you can go from there to actually get payment, get the process started, onboard your customers all in one platform. So I do believe that this is super easy to do with their on-brand sign-up forms and landing pages, because again, you can ensure the consistency of the logo, the pictures, the images, and we keep going with that brand sign-up forms and that brand consistency that we're talking about. Also, the platform allows you to have a consistent voice and tone. You can establish brand voice guidelines, including like the formality level, the language style, the tone, and you can keep that consistent across all of the campaigns. Now, I love, and this is my favorite part, this is where I'm going to stay a little bit, I do love the Mailchimp automations. Those are my favorite ones, and this is not only because it allows you to automate everything, it's just because we are freelancers. As freelancers, we do our job, we do the admin work, we also have to do the job. There's not like two separate like people to do that, right? We don't have a person that charges for us, that follow contracts, that does the admin work, that find lead generation, but also do creative work and make the graphics and attend to the clients that we already have. So automations in here become your best friend in this situation, because they allow you to create many forms and many flows that you have seen. For example, I use Mailchimp for this like specific webinar, and every time that somebody will sign up to our event, to our form, the form that you all sign up for, you will receive an email with all the information. And we also created inside the flow many like automated emails that will send you an email 30 minutes before the call, and that will allow you to kind of like have the system where you don't have to worry about all these things, and you can take care of the rest. You can take care of marketing, you can take care of putting together the presentation and doing all the other creative work that you need to do. Well, all of that is being taken care of with a couple of hours of your time. So I do believe that automations are my top priority, my top recommendation that you take a look at, just because like we want you to not lose time. We want you to take a bunch of a day to prepare your flows, understand how do you want to onboard and offboard customers into the journey, and build that into the automations and forget about it. Just go 3 months in, and if you want to do some changes, you can, and optimize it. But at the same time, you can keep that information in, and you will feel more comfortable that your brand is the output of your brand is consistent. You have a consistent branding, but at the same time, you don't have to overwork yourself to do so every week manually. So I do believe that this is super important, and the automations are really, really the backbone of what I use on Mailchimp for our customers and for freelancers. Now, again, obviously, we have to create a cohesive multi-touch campaign. Let's say that you're going to do a December holiday discount, or if you're going to tell your customers, hey, I'm going to give you a 10% discount if you book your project in December instead of in January. If you want to kind of like line up those customers and be proactive about your work. In Mailchimp, you can do so, creating the landing page, the campaign, the emails, the flow automation, and also the social media posts and the paid ad. Obviously, for your content that is more real and more personal, and your stories, this is not something that we do internally in the platforms, because we want to use the beautiful links and like all the little details that all these other platforms will bring you. But for this type of campaigns, there are sales campaigns directed to your lead marketing and your lead generation. There is tools on Mailchimp that you can do creative and cohesive multi-touch campaigns that will help you track the engagement across the channels and make sure that you have this automation set up. Again, not overwork yourself. The goal here is that you're driving, but automations are helping you do so without you overworking yourself every week. Now, to bring it all together, brand consistency drives trust and supports recognition is something that I've seen with my brand. We are business to business. We are not selling to customers directly. It's not a consumer product that we're selling. It's services, which makes it a little bit more difficult for us. So I do believe that these are the channels that we can own ourselves. Our email marketing, our data, our leads, our emails and information that we want to have on our end. If any social media platform changes, as we have seen, first was Facebook, then was Instagram, now it's TikTok and LinkedIn. They all keep coming and going, but at the same time, your email marketing, your emails, your leads, the people that you know and that you have worked with are the people that are going to stay there and are going to pass through this journey over and over again. It is very important that you own that, and that's why I do believe that email marketing and these automations are always good to have in your business, and not only trust DMs and just regular comments out there on social media. Obviously, social media is amazing. It's where you get recognition as well, and it's a tool that we should always use. But at the same time, once you have your leads a little bit more warmed, I do believe that this is something that you will get the brand consistency that your brand deserves and the hard work that you have put into your brand recognized. Now, I'm going to give the microphone to William, because one of the main things that we can also have in here is Mailchimp & Co. I'm a partner and I have seen a lot of success with attending events with William, attending events with Mailchimp, and I want him to explain a little bit of what you can get by being a Mailchimp & Co. partner.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. And great presentation so far. I really hope that everyone's getting all the understanding of like how to build your brand. And I want to tie it back into how you can build your brand as a business owner, right? And Mailchimp offers this partner program to help you grow your business with Mailchimp. And I'll just take a few moments to kind of go through the ins and outs of the program so you can understand what you can take advantage of, and just kind of make it relatable to you. And hopefully you can kind of find something that's valuable along the way. So let's get started. So yeah, Mailchimp & Co. It is our insider community of global insider community of freelancers and agencies, similar to Hap Team, but we have more of a there's more of a focus on Mailchimp, right? So we have opportunities to grow your business through acquiring more clients and earning commission on those clients. Opportunities to expand your expertise, like taking some certifications and trainings on Mailchimp. A lot of the things you learned today were very detailed, and maybe required some training. So like setting up an automation, we have a course on that. Setting up like how to create some of your campaigns, there's a course on that. So a lot of the things that we talked about today, Mailchimp can truly help you solidify some of that stuff through our exclusive trainings, simplifying your client work. So this is kind of where you can start, building your business, and your clients would be all in one place on Mailchimp, or any other, you also can use it for, a CRM. It doesn't have to be only email marketing. You can use it for a lot of different things. And then, like she mentioned before, getting insider perks like attending events. So we do have events across the globe that we offer along the way. So just things to take advantage of. And then next, I'll kind of show a little bit more about the partner program and how it works. So all of this does start with connected accounts, right? So that connected account could be like a coffee shop, it could be a brewery, or it could be a small boutique, a jewelry store, anything that that kind of sells, or maybe just has or offers a mission. It could be a nonprofit that you work with. This is where we kind of call each client a connected account. And this is where you can start, earning some commission, managing their day-to-day operation, and applying some of those skills we learned earlier to your clients that you're going to have on a day-to-day basis. And then kind of going into the membership levels, we have 3, right? So most people sit at that member level, and that's with at least 2 customers with Mailchimp, and then partner level, at least 10 customers with Mailchimp, and that pro partner level, at least 20 customers with Mailchimp. So this is kind of it's kind of like it's a free flowing journey, right? So it's not you have to meet these by a certain time, you have to pay a certain amount of money. It's all free to be a part of the partner program, and it's just really kind of a go as you can kind of program. So if you have 2 clients this month, no worries. If you have 3 clients the next month, maybe you lose a client, you have 1 client the next month, it doesn't matter. You're able to kind of go and just achieve anything you can without the partner program, but we do reward you along the way. Which I will kind of touch base in the next slide, where this is kind of the rewards and benefits we can offer you just by bringing in some new customers, right? So let's say you want to work with that coffee shop or that boutique, and they've never been on Mailchimp before, and they're wanting to kind of, get their newsletter out there, maybe sell some things online. This is where you would set up their Mailchimp account, and then have them pay for a plan, or maybe not pay for a plan, but if they do pay for one, you do get 25% commission of their paid plan back to your bank account. So let's say that they're brand new, they're going to pay $100 a month on a Mailchimp plan because they have like 1,000 contacts, and then you're going to set up some automations for them. This is where you'd get that 25%, right? If they're brand new. Let's say they already have a Mailchimp account, and they are just wanting to hire you to kind of help, manage their day in and day out because they don't have time. Then you would get 5%. So everyone that's already kind of on a plan, you don't get as much incentive, but you still get some. And then kind of all that correlates to the program structure, in which I'll kind of show you next. Where this is kind of where we learn, the member, the partner, and pro partner level of the Mailchimp Encode program. This is where, you can earn commission. At least if you have at least 2 customers with Mailchimp, you get 1 year of commission, 2 years at that partner level, and 3 years at that pro partner level. So it's just more incentive to onboard some new clients, keep them long-term with Mailchimp, and just kind of, have an ever-growing relationship with your customers and kind of keep them on a plan long-term. So if you do have questions on this, feel free to ask us at the end, because I know it is a lot of material. So yeah, just make sure to kind of hold questions, throw it in the chat or whatever you may want to do. But next, I'll kind of just go over at a high level all of the benefits we have to offer to our partners. So going from member to pro partner, we have access opportunities to go to market. So that means like we're doing a workshop like this. If you're interested in kind of doing the same thing we're doing today and acquiring some new customers, making your own spin on it, making it customized to the audience that you're serving. That's what we did today, and I think I hope everyone got a great benefit from that, because I think that's kind of a part of what the reason we're doing this is because we want to help customers learn more about our partners, and then kind of they can give them opportunities and information that is relevant for them. So we talked a lot about building the brand and how to tie it back into empowerment of building yourself before you can build your brand. So it's a really great opportunity to do. This is another great opportunity to do so. Again, like I mentioned, they have access to our academy, access to our priority support queue. So let's say you're working with Mailchimp, you're trying to learn as much as you can, but there's something that you just don't know how to do, or you're having some trouble. We have a priority support team to help out with that. So all dedicated to partners, and it's a really great tool to use because those folks are very knowledgeable. And then as you level up to the partner level, go back for me. My bad. As you level up to the partner level, you have access to the experts directory, which is like your front page of your business on Mailchimp, and then a Slack community. You can kind of Slack with other Mailchimp partners. It's a really great tool to kind of, maybe you have a new lead that you may want to pass to someone else because you don't have time, and vice versa. It's really great, like a networking tool. And then you have access to like the partner badge, opportunities for special events, and access to our team. So, and then that way we kind of tie it all back in together to how we can help you achieve your goals through our partner resources. And this is where you can learn a little bit more about what we have to offer to you. So again, the Mailchimp Academy has tons of learning pathways, especially if you're brand new to Mailchimp and you want to learn how to do these tools and learn how to use the tool and apply the skills you've learned today. Also opportunities to learn from our team and our partner-only workshops. Right before this, I did the similar presentation to brand new partners in the program. So you kind of have an exclusive, one-on-one relationship here with me today because this is what I do to Mailchimp partners right when they start. But knowing that you haven't even started yet, this is a really great way to kind of get your foot in the door before you even starting. So next, we'll go over kind of like the ins and outs of the Mailchimp Academy certifications. These all apply to the certain levels of the program. So take them, learn as much as you can, especially from that foundations course, because that's really where you're going to learn a foundational knowledge of Mailchimp, leading into the email marketing strategy, and then how to kind of tie it all together with our automation best practices certification. All three are really great and useful. And then next, you have access to a partner premium demo account. So again, if you're brand new and wanting to learn a little bit more about what Mailchimp can do, and you want to you're more of like a hands-on learner, this is a great way to use this demo tool. And as you get more well-versed, or let's say you already are well-versed in Mailchimp, then this is a great tool to use because there's a lot of pre-built data that lives inside of this tool, like a 5,000 contacts, I think. You can set up as many journeys as you want. You can do, and you can play with your integrations through this tool. So it's really good, a great selling and educational tool. And yeah, I wanted to save some time. There's a QR code if you wanted to chat with me personally or someone on our team. There's a QR code that you can do, so you can follow the link to do so. And then again, we'll probably follow up via email after this and just kind of share links and ways to get in contact with us. But thank you so much for listening. I'll pass it back so we can kind of start some Q&A.
Yeah, if there's any questions, please just drop it on the chat or raise your hand, especially on all the Mailchimp tools that it offers, or any questions that you may have on the systems that we just shared and how you can kind of activate these for your customers. I'm happy to also kind of share this information. We will record this meeting and we will share it with you just so you can have it back again and just kind of go through the process if you want to set it up yourself for your business for 2026. So if there's any questions, I don't see any questions. So let me see. I don't see any questions, but that's okay. You know where to find me all the time. I'm happy to answer them as you go, or as you set up your process, or you can contact my direct contact, William, and he can help with how to set up things, of course, and how to get you into the partner project and into the be a partner. And with that being said, thank you very much for being here. We wanted to keep it short and friendly because we know it's a lot of information, and I will be sharing this meeting with everyone.